I run a 100% remote company with an international team that spans across 10 time zones. We all work from home, and once a year, we go on a 100% all-expense-paid team retreat that allows us to work together, explore a new city, and create some amazing memories with each other. For this year's retreat, I booked an all-inclusive resort in Cancun, Mexico, and in the past, I Airbnb'd a castle on an island in Spain. Now, beyond the ridiculous castle, there's tons of benefits and also challenges to working in a 100% remote work environment. But one question that always seems to come up is just how much it costs to work from home. In this video, I'm going to share exactly how much it costs to have an office compared to how much it costs to work from home. Now, this will be from the perspective of both the company and the employee. So make sure you watch this video until the very end, because I'm going to share with you exactly how much it costed us to run our last team retreat in Cancun, Mexico. Now, this video is for anyone who works from home, is thinking about working from home, or maybe just works for a company that hasn't caught on yet to the perks and advantages of remote work. And if that's the case, please send this video to your boss. One thing is for sure, and that's remote work is here to stay. If you guys are new here, what's up? I'm Ferris, a Forbes 30 Under 30 alum, and a few years ago, I started an app called MySwimPro. It was named by Apple as the best app of the year. We have over 1.5 million downloads, and the company is run by an international team that is distributed across 10 time zones. Here on the channel, I share what it's like building a global technology and media company and everything that it takes to build a startup from the ground up. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're thinking of starting a company, you should definitely subscribe. Globally, 16% of companies are fully remote, according to the Owl Labs study. Now, this same study found that 62% of workers aged 22 to 65 claim to work remotely at least occasionally. Now, this study also found that 44% of companies do not allow remote work of any kind. So chances are, if you're watching this video, nearly half of you have never worked from home or have limited experience with it, which is surprising considering everything that we've gone through in the last couple of years with the pandemic, and yet a majority of workers still go to an office. Now, there was a study by Slack of 9,000 workers in 6 countries that found that 72% prefer a hybrid remote office model, with only 12% preferring to always work in an office setting. Now, there's a study by Upwork that predicts that 22% of Americans will work remotely by the year 2025. It's an 87% increase from pre-pandemic levels. So we know that remote work is growing in popularity, but is working from home actually better than working in an office? Well, the numbers say that remote workers are more productive in many cases, but not all situations. A study by Stanford found that performance was boosted by 22% when employees were able to work from home. The Future of Work report by Upwork found that 22.5% of surveyed managers said that productivity had decreased, compared to 32.2% of hiring managers saying that productivity has increased since their employees started working from home in 2020. But what about costs? Well, the Global Workplace Analytics estimates that employers can save over $11,000 per year per employee. The savings are from the lower cost of office space, increased productivity, reduced absenteeism, and less turnover. At the same time, if you're working from home, there's a good likelihood that you're spotting the bill on a few of the home office needs. Now, you might need to own your own computer, monitors, lighting, camera equipment for video conferencing, and not to mention a strong internet connection to stay plugged in. Now, at our company, we hook up all of our team members with the latest tech to get started, and then another $500 to set up their home office. The biggest expense to working from home is actually having the physical space to do it. Not everyone has an extra room in their house to turn into a home office, and if you do, you might have to compete for that space with roommates or family. All in, it can cost employees several $1,000s per year to work from home. But if you ask yourself, would you rather have that or sit in rush hour traffic for 40 minutes a day contemplating how inefficient it is to have to drive to an office where you might do everything on a computer screen by yourself? That Global Workplace Analytics study estimated savings for employees in the $2,500 to $4,000 per year range. This can be due to lowered food costs, fuel, parking, and car maintenance that comes along with having to drive to an office. On top of that, working from home can actually save a company money as well. Consider the fact that in the United States, the average cost of an office space by square foot is between $8 and $23. Standard office setup is 200 square feet per employee, which means it costs companies an average of $5,000 to $15,000 per year per employee. I remember we used to pay $1,700 a month for a tiny 5-person office space at WeWork in Detroit. Now the office was so small that you could barely fit the 4 of us in there at any given time. This office cost us over $20,000 a year, and when you break that up by team member, that's about $5,000 per person per year. In San Francisco, the monthly average cost of office space is roughly $5 per square foot, and that's about $13,000 per year per employee. Now, co-working spaces can be more affordable, and they often start around $100 to $300 per month, but this can vary drastically by location. In expensive cities like San Francisco, New York, and even Zurich, you could pay thousands of dollars per month just to have a hot desk in a co-working space. With the rising costs of real estate in cities around the world, working from home is looking more and more attractive to both employers and companies. But before you think that companies are better off just ditching the office and sending everyone home, there's additional expenses that companies take on when they go fully remote. For example, most remote companies that have over 20 employees now have a dedicated team member that focuses on taking care of remote workers' needs, building company culture, and planning team retreats. On top of that, remote companies sometimes reimburse their employees for home office expenses like internet access, office furniture, and sometimes even offering grants towards co-working spaces. Potentially, the biggest expense for a remote work team is hosting location-based retreats. These are often one-week excursions where the entire team comes together in a central location, often twice per year, sometimes once per year. And if you want to learn more about what these retreats are all about, check out my recap video linked down below about our team retreat in Cancun, Mexico. We had a jam-packed week that included snorkeling, cliff jumping, we did dry land on the beach, I ran pool workouts as a team, and of course, we spent some quality time together. As a fully remote team, we all work from home, so we use this as an opportunity to come together, align on our strategy, and produce some epic content. Before the pandemic, I Airbnb'd a castle on an island in Spain. Our castle was right on the edge of a beautiful bay with a small island not too far off the shore, and every morning we'd either swim a lap around the island or do dry land on the beach. So last year, because of the pandemic, we couldn't travel anywhere. So instead, we did a camping adventure in our very own backyards. This year, I decided to book an all-inclusive resort, and I used the presidential suite as our HQ for the week. It looks like all fun and games, but our schedule was jam-packed with strategy sessions, workshops, team building activities. We spent a ton of time brainstorming ideas on how we can make the MySwimPro app better and help more swimmers around the world improve their performance and health. Every team member also had the opportunity to share a bit about themselves, and all in all, it was a magical experience. We all left Mexico with some amazing memories, a little bit of suntan, and plenty of fun stories to tell our friends. I can't wait until the next team retreat, and if you're interested in joining our team, don't be afraid to reach out to me. Shameless plug is over, but really, we're hiring. Anyway, let's take a look at exactly how much this week-long adventure costed our team of 13 members that were able to attend this trip. Now, I broke out our costs between flights, the resort, a travel stipend every team member received, the PCR tests, and some other expenses that included swag, office supplies, a day at an outdoor adventure park, tips, and ground transportation. All in, our flights costed $8,479.56. The resort costed us $15,238.04. Travel stipends cost $910. PCR tests cost $1,151.28. Then in the other category, we had everything else, which was $3,887.56, bringing our grand total to $29,666.44. You might be thinking to yourself, holy cow, you just spent 30 grand on a trip to Mexico? Well, it's not really the right way to look at this. Instead, it's an investment in our team that came out to about $2,282 per team member. Remember that having an office space costs companies anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 per year per employee. Even when you compare this trip in total, it's less than 2% of our total annual expenses. The trip is absolutely a positive return on investment, even when you look at just the raw numbers. And on top of that, the increase in team member happiness, retention, and excitement for what we're doing far outweighs the cost of hosting an international retreat, which at the end of the day is the biggest expense of remote work. So what do you think? Is remote work worth the hype? Or is it more effective to go into an office every single day? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. Let me know down below what you think, and I'll catch you guys at the next video. Keep hustling. Peace.